Namaste and hello. This is your Sanskrit instructor welcoming you back into lesson number 37, where we will be continuing the Sandhi rules known as grammar rules in Sanskrit. In the previous video, we learned that Sandhi rules do not apply to vowels alone, but also to consonants. Thus, in the sentences that we will be learning, the final ma and the final visarg of a word followed by another word undergo various changes. In the previous video, we learned what happens to a final ma when it's followed by a consonant, and now we're going to learn about what happens to a final visarg. A visarg, if you can recall, is a dot. There's two dots that looks like a colon that comes after a letter. So that would be the letter right here. So if I were to put a ka here next to a visarg, it's no longer a ka, but it is a kaha. So the visarg is what we will be talking about today. Now that we can recall what a visarg is, let's go over the rules. So we will be touching upon what happens to it when it is followed by a hard consonant. And this is where that table that I gave you guys in the very beginning of this course, when we were learning about the letters, this is where memorizing the consonants in this format is going to be very helpful for you. So the hard consonants are highlighted in the first two columns here in the table. These are all your hard consonants. So these are the letters that we will be focusing on. Now, they remain, the visarg, when it's followed by these consonants, they remain unchanged. So nothing happens to the visarg. So these letters here are ka, ka, ba, pa, sha, sha, and sa. So let's find them on the table. Remember, there are two hard consonants for each category among the gutturals, the palatus, the cerebrals, the dentals, and the labials. So we have ka, ka, pa, pa, and they also mention, the rule also mentions sha, sha, and sa. Now these are not hard consonants, but these are letters called sibilants. So when a visarg is followed by any of these letters that I circled here, they remain unchanged. So they remain unchanged before ka, ka, pa, pa, sha, sha, and sa. And I have some examples here for you. So the examples are as follows. First sentence, putraha kanati. Putraha kanati means the son digs. Next sentence, janaha patanti means the people fall. Next sentence, balaha sarati. This means the boy goes. I want you to identify the visarg in all of these sentences. There's a visarg after putraha, in janaha, and in balaha. That's the visarg. Nothing happens to it. It remains unchanged because a ka is following the first visarg, a pa is following the second, and a sa is following the third visarg. Now, these letters here that I just underlined is part of the rule where the visarg remains unchanged. Here's the ka, here's the pa, and here is the sa. So that remains unchanged. Now, when does a visarg change? A visarg changes when it is being followed by any of the other hard consonants. So let us take a look at the rule. A visarg becomes a sha before a cha and cha. It becomes a sha before a ta and ta. And a visarg becomes a sa before a ta and ta. Let's find where these letters are. Okay. So when a visarg is followed by a cha or cha, it becomes a sha. When a visarg is followed by a ta or ta, it becomes a sh. When a visarga is followed by a ta or ta, then it is followed by the visarga becomes a sa. Now take a look at the pattern here. Okay, when a visarga is followed by any palatal hard consonant, it turns into that respective sibilant of that category. So the sibilant for the palatals is sh. The sibilant for the cerebrals is sh. The sibilant for the dentals is sa. So when it is followed by the respective hard consonant, it turns into the sibilant of that same category that letter originally came from. Now let's take a look at the examples here. I hope that pattern is understandable. So that is why when you come across a visarg being followed by a sh, or sa, it's like it has already been changed. Okay? It's not necessary because that's when it is. The visarg is only going to change to the sibilants when it's followed by its respective categories. And now going on to the examples. So that visarg becomes a sh before a cha and cha. So we have janaha chalanti becomes janash chalanti. So the half sh is going to replace the visarg, and instead of writing out this entire thing, the entire sh, you could just write that, and that is what is being done right here. And the two words are being joined together for it to be janash chalanti. Notice that it's easier saying janash chalanti than janaha chalanti. There's more of a flow to it. So now for the next rule, the visarg becomes a sh before a ta and ta. So we have partataha tikam becomes partatash tikam. So this visarg is going to turn into a half sh. And instead of writing the sh with a halant, you could just write the sh, the half sh, connected to the next consonant. In this case, it's a ta. Instead of writing it this way, you could also write it as this. If you could remember that we learned about this in a video. Then we have the last rule, that the visarg becomes a sa before a ta and ta. So we have putraha tarati becomes putras tarati. So the visarg turns into a half sa. The visarg turns into a half sa, and then the two words are joined together again, and the pattern continues. Instead of writing out the whole sa with the halant, you could just write the sa without the stroke, and you could connect it to the next letter that it's trying to connect to join the letters. In this case, it's a ta, and it becomes putrastaranti. Okay? So I hope that the pattern is more understandable for you. And it will be easier for you to memorize the Sandhi rules. Making things easier is what we are aiming for. Again, if you do have any questions or you have any concerns, you could always shoot an email to mdg.sanskrit@gmail.com. So I hope that this is easier for you, and this is your Sanskrit instructor signing off with a namaste.